I want to take a little time today to respond to some comments I received in a video the other day where I showed my new Q5 match steel frame from Walther. This is the all steel gun made from Walther. It's like a PPQ Q5, except it's all steel instead of a polymer frame. Now, in that video, I had said something about I wish I could find a holster for it so that I could carry it and see how well it carries and maybe kind of review it as both a carry gun and a competition gun. But a lot of people said, well, that's silly. You're not going to be able to find a holster for that. If you do, it'll be competition holster, because why would you want to carry that gun? It's way too big and way too heavy. It's a competition gun. Now, I'm not denying it's a competition gun. That's what it was made to be. It's made to shoot flat, made to be very quick, made to be a very good gun for competition. But some of the things that make a good competition gun would also make a good self-defense gun. The only thing on this gun that would make me wary of it as a self-defense gun is how light that trigger is. That trigger is extremely light. It's like a 4-pound trigger with no manual safety, and it feels like a lot less than 4 pounds. So if you're wary of light triggers and no manual safeties, you probably wouldn't want this as a carry gun. But every other thing about it, I think, is very suited for carry. And as far as it being too large or too heavy, I think that's garbage. Now, it isn't a small gun. It does have a 5-inch barrel, and it does have a double stack magazine here. This one's even got a magwell on it, but you don't have to have the magwell on it. You can take it off. But as far as size goes, it's not much different size than my everyday carry. My everyday carry here, my Dan Wesson Specialist, is also a 5-inch barrel. It is a single stack magazine, but it also has an all steel frame. It's very similar in size and weight to the Q5 match steel frame. And this gun is designed to be carried. It's one of the best carry guns on the market, one of the most popular carry guns. So if this is not too large, why would the Q5 be too large? As you can see here, looking at them from the back, even though this is single stack and this is double stack, there's not much difference in these two guns. They're very similar. Even with the magwell on this gun, they're very similar in size. And this is the part that's hard to conceal, the back part of the gun. So almost no difference here. And when you look at length here, they're also very similar. Not a whole lot of difference here. If you're worried about maybe raising your arm and exposing the bottom of your gun, these are going to be about the same level. They're going to be about the same point when you carry them. So lengthwise, height-wise, not much of a difference there. So size isn't really a factor. This gun isn't too big to carry, but what about weight? Let's look at the weight now, because a lot of people are under the impression that this gun is very heavy, that the Q5 is a very heavy gun. All right, first, let's weigh the Q5 naked. You know, no magazine in it. Well, I guess naked is probably not the best word, but no magazine. And it comes to 2 pounds, 7.8 ounces. That's not light, but is it heavier than the other gun, the 1911? Let's see. Let's put the 1911 that I carry every day on the scale. 2 pounds, 7.9 ounces. 0.1 ounce heavier. It's actually a little heavier than the Q5. Now, I've weighed these multiple times each, got the same result each time, so that little variance holds up. Now let's put a magazine in both of them and see what they do. But one thing I will say about this magazine, it is the extended magazine, so it has a big aluminum bottom on it here, so that will add a little bit of weight, but let's see how they both stack up with a mag in them. All right, first let's look at the Q5. It is 2 pounds, 11.3 ounces. Now let's look at my everyday carry, the Dan Wesson Specialist. 2 pounds, 10.5 ounces. There is a little bit of a difference there, but that difference is basically that extended mag plate on the bottom of that magazine. If I wanted to put an extended mag plate on this that had an aluminum bottom on it, they'd probably still be about the same weight. I would say the little bit of a difference would probably go away because this would have a smaller mag plate on it by a little bit, but they'd be about the same weight. Okay, now the real test here weight-wise, though, is how about fully loaded? Because the Q5 holds 17 rounds in its magazine, and this is a fully loaded magazine. So let's try them with loaded magazines. In this magazine, I have solid copper Fort Scott ammunition. Now let's see how much this gun weighs fully loaded. Ooh, 3 pounds, 1.2 ounces. Definitely not the lightest gun in the world. Not the heaviest, but definitely not the lightest. But is it much heavier than the 1911? That's the real question. Now, first I want to point off that the 1911 magazine only holds 8 rounds, so that is less than half as many rounds. That's 9 less rounds than the other magazine for the Q5. This one is also loaded with solid copper ammunition, this time from Underwood, but since they are 45 ACP, even though there's fewer rounds, they're a little heavier, so let's see how much difference it makes in weight. And let's see how much it weighs here now. 2 pounds, 14.2 ounces. That's a difference of exactly 3 ounces. That's a very small difference, especially when you consider how much more ammo you're getting out of the other gun. In fact, if you took the aluminum plate on the bottom of the magazine into account, that's probably all the difference right there. If I went to a plastic plate on that magazine, it'd probably make a big difference. They'd probably be almost the same weight, fully loaded, and you would still get a lot more rounds from the Q5. So there you have it. Is the Q5 match steel frame a competition gun? Of course it is. That's what it's designed to be. But can it be carried? Of course it can. Like I said, if you're not worried about that light trigger, there's no reason why you couldn't carry this gun if you could find a holster for it. As you can see, it's not too big. It's about the same size as a regular government size 1911. And as far as weight, it's not too heavy. It's about the same weight as a regular railed government size 1911. That's one thing to keep in mind. I do have a rail on my 1911, but still the difference even without the rail would be very small. So as you can see, this gun is not too big and it's not too heavy to carry. It's not designed for it. It's designed for competition. But like I said, a lot of things that make a good competition gun can also make a great carry gun. So if someone wanted to carry this gun, I can't see any reason why they shouldn't. Oops.
Go ahead. It's a lady at 46 South Road. 46 South Road.
Station 1 call, retone that please. 10-4. Captain 4 to go to that location. This is 1-9, is that correct?